How you doing, Marty and Moog from Mighty Car Mods? We are up here at the Unicorn Circuit set because today we've got something special. Martin, do you like cars?
Very special. I love cars.
Do you like driving them on the road?
Yes.
Do you like doing skids?
Yes, I like driving them on racetracks too.
What if, Martin, you could get better at driving on racetracks by learning skills in a simulation?
What? Is that even possible?
It is
Really?
possible. People for years have been saying, hey, you guys should do a sim rig or something, and we were just like, we'd rather drive a real car. Turns out there's actually a whole lot to be learned and a whole lot of mad skills and a whole lot of mad people involved in the simulation industry. And today, we're going to learn all about sim rigs, aren't we?
We're going to get a sim rig installed right here so we can practice to be better at sim racing, and maybe it'll translate to the real world. Who knows, maybe it will, but we won't find out unless we give it a shot.
Two legends trekked it almost 1,000 k's from Melbourne to give us a hand setting up our racing sim. They pre-assembled some of it to make it a little bit quicker, but in true DIY fashion, it comes in a bunch of boxes which you can Lego together.
So I'm here with Phil and Derek from simrigs.com, and these guys have been doing rigs for a while, and they're going to teach us a little bit about how all this works.
We'd never been in a sim that was any good.
Yeah.
And a friend invited me around, and I jumped in his, and I'm like, this is fun. Like,
That's my experience also. I've never been in really good ones where you go, this is so immersive, it just feels weird and fake.
No. So I think everything's got to the point where it's getting better enough to feel we're getting closer.
So it's matured now that you actually get in one of these and it can feel closer to a real car experience. And who buys this kind of stuff and why?
There's lots of different people. Probably the two big categories are people that want to that are in computer games or computer industry already, and then other people that are in the motorsport industry that want training tools.
And why would you have one of these over a little control pad in your Xbox or your PlayStation?
I think it's a real seat, it's a real wheel, it's got real paddles. It's very different to a control pad.
Immersion.
Yeah. And after a while, your brain gets a bit more used to it, and you actually start making decisions based on what the input that's going on to you. It's not about whether you're moving or not, which is the hardest thing to get over at the beginning.
So that is something that only happens at the start, because that's my experience. Maybe that's the problem, because I've only ever tried them a few times. It always feels a bit fake.
Yeah, in the beginning you don't have any sense of speed, and it's weird because when you push on the brake, everything slowly slows down, and it's not like there's no G-forces in this particular one, and so it's hard to understand. But then after a while, your brain's pretty smart. You start to get feeling through the wheel, and you start to understand when the wheel slackens off, it's understeer or oversteer, and you start making corrections according.
So obviously there's a lot of different ways of doing this. I've seen people weld it up out of old second-hand steel using like a steering wheel from 20 years ago. What's kind of the range of sim rigs, and how do people sort of get started?
So we sell two main frames, we'll call them, or rigs, and they use two different dimensions of aluminium profile, and this product is pretty used worldwide as far as a assembly product, and it's very accessible to parts and also mobility. So everything slides on every rail.
So it's adjustable?
Everything can adjust at any distance along the rails.
Right. So this will fit more people than if you just built your own one.
Yeah, and that's what we found. We had a look at a lot of the sort of folded metal, and once you get over a certain height or a certain size, then you start to run into limitations.
Right. And does it need to be super rigid? Is that why it's made of this massive
extrusion? So as I suppose technology has got, the wheel's getting stronger, and not necessarily because you need huge strength for a wheel to be realistic. It's the bumps and the spikes that needs to be reactively strong.
Yes.
And so that would start to flex a bunch of other styles of frames.
Yeah.
And so this is why we've picked this one. And also it's very DIY, which is sort of a bit out of market. You can build it yourself.
So this is the hardware side. Obviously, there's a software side as well, whether you're running, in our case, it's going to be a PC, right?
Correct, yep.
And to run what software or a range?
There's multiple simulators, games that you can use, and iRacing is a very big one.
Yep.
Set of course is also very big.
Yep.
And so there's probably maybe 5 that's used everywhere, I suppose.
And you can jump between them, and your hardware works with it in various ways with a bit of setup.
So our goal always as sim rigs was to be accessible, but also carry the minimums in certain technologies. So we only sell direct drive, and we only sell load cell pedals.
And really solid.
And we only sell profile rigs. Yeah. So those are like the minimum that we would say you probably end up getting to when you're upgrading, because everyone upgrades. You probably land there at some point anyway. So it's a good place to start. And then we have varying budgets in those technologies. Where we are today, it's pretty high-endish.
Yeah, okay.
Like, yeah.
We'll be able to run all sorts of software.
You'll be able to run
to
everything, and a lot of it does
feedback.
come down to the PC and the software and the screens and that hardware as well.
And in terms of screens and software, so PC there, three monitors for this particular setup.
monitors,
You
yeah.
can use one widescreen one,
You can
or
use,
you can go VR.
Correct, yeah. 49-inch is about 1.4 wide, and
Yep.
it's pretty good.
Yes.
It doesn't give you as much side vision for your
Okay.
apexes and stuff, which,
Right.
which can be useful. But it is less strenuous on the PC. So
Okay.
if you've got a gaming PC and you're working to a budget and you don't have 7 PC display ports out of your computer,
Got it.
It's an easy in.
Right. Because you could recycle your own PC you've already got into something like this.
Correct.
And add
Yeah.
this as an
Yeah.
accessory. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
A lot
So-
of people do that. They'll run just one cable to one
Yep.
screen, then you're good to go.
So obviously some of this is already pre-installed, but we'll assemble the rest of it
Yep.
together, smash the screens on, plug the PC in, get it all working, and
Yep.
then you can show us how it works.
Awesome.
Great.
Sim racing has exploded in popularity in recent years as the equipment has gotten cheaper, the software has matured, and there's a heap of online communities where you can race mates or randoms. It is a bit of a learning curve to assemble a rig, but there's plenty of price points you can start at, from the most basic to full motion and VR. This one is somewhere in the middle in terms of cost, but has all the ingredients to give a good realistic experience as our skills improve. With everything bolted up and connected, we can boot the PC and calibrate our input and output devices.
I'm ready to go. Everything's working. We've got sound, we've got steering wheel, we've got pedals. We've got 3 screens, so now I'm going to take my MX-5 out on Mount Panorama. Wow, it's fast. Said no one ever. Oh, it even sounds like an MX-5. Terrible. It felt quicker in the K-Truck at 60 k's an hour, but I'm doing 140 k's an hour currently, and I've even got a 6-speed gearbox. No 7th. Do I brake? Yes, I guess I do. Yep, or I crash. Okay, this is making a bit more sense. This is actually pretty cool. I haven't crashed yet, this is good. This is helping. Like being able to see out the side kind of helps. Doesn't want to go flat in 4th through there. Oh, this is that. No, that's not the crazy corner that's coming up. The feedback kind of helps actually through that steering wheel. It tells you what it wants to do. Oh, I need to brake here. Oh, cut the corner. I've seen that happen a few times on TV. Oh no, I got a penalty. Oh no. The part throttle with the throttle is actually a thing too, which is kind of cool. Like I know with some games it's kind of like an on-off switch. Oh, I've crashed. Oh, I've crashed so badly. Oh my God. Panel damage. Oh, this is the funnest bit of this track. I've knocked my wheels out of alignment. Doesn't matter. Flat bicky, 6th gear, here we go. Over the jump. It's gonna be good. Come on MX-5, it's topping out at 187 k's an hour. And the wheels are floating around a lot. Squeeze some brakes on, just like in the Lotus. Here we go. Don't know what corner this is, so I'm just gonna guess. Need more brakes. Yep, lots of brakes that I didn't use. It's all good, everyone. I have to slow down apparently. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's good when you get it right.
After a few simulated stacks that would have definitely sent me home on a tow truck, my good friend decided he would have a go.
Oh shit. Oh God. I'd rather do that in a game. I'd rather do that in a game than in my Lotus. I can say that for sure. Is an old mate about to tell me my car's damaged now? Oh, my wheels are more than that's out of alignment, mate. Oh, that's where you hit, Martin. I'm going to try and just drift this corner and see what happens if I go. I'll just understeer into a wall. I'm drifting into a wall in a game, better than in real life. Oh, they're out of alignment, all right. All right, that is a whole lot of fun.
Awesome.
I crashed into a wall in my MX-5, but I would rather do it in a simulation than in real life. And what is actually quite amazing, because I haven't spent much time doing that kind of stuff at all. What's amazing is because you get a bit of feedback through the steering wheel, you actually get a sense of bumps in the road, but also the amount of power in there as well. Like when I crashed into the wall all those times, I just had to go hands off because the wheel's spinning around
Just
like
let
crazy.
go, which is kind of like real life. So obviously there's some stuff you've got to get used to in terms of feeling the motion and your brain sort of catching up. But I mean, look, crashing at Bathurst in a real MX-5 means getting a tow home, fixing your car multiple times, ruining your weekend. We can do a bit of practice here. We're going to leave it basically on this setting. We're going to run our Mazda at Bathurst for a while till we get our heads around it, so we can do a really clean lap, and then we'll start experimenting with different tracks. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have sim rigs or have some kind of thing like this.
Let us know what you got,
Let us know
actually,
what
and
you
give
got.
us some links to
Give
your
us some
channels
tips,
or whatever.
Yeah, give us some tips because we're keen to learn a bit about it, but we're going to practice. Thanks to the guys from Sim Rigs, thanks to Phil and Derek from Sim Rigs for bringing this over. We're going to get some good practice in.
Yep. And if you want to have a look at the kind of stuff they've got available, they've got lots of different bits and pieces. You can check that out at simrigs.com. We don't have any codes. There's no kickback or anything like that. They were just like, hey, you can use this
They've
for
been
a little
watching
while.
since the Civic days.
Yeah, they've been watching Mighty Come Odds for years, and they're like, hey, can we come down and let you use one of our things? So there's no special discounts or no whatever. There's no kickbacks to us, but have a look, and if there's something there that works for you, then go for it. Thank you very much, and please let us know down below what your rig setup is like. I mean, your car rig, and we'd love to see it. See you next time. Bye.